is using the same. I hope she is asking an honest question, unlike Bilal, Muhammad, Samir, or whatever ignorant person is calling. She says, what's the difference between salafiya and the extremists? First of all, there is no relationship. Salafiya is the way of the Prophet ﷺ. Salafiya is the way of the companions. Salafiya is the way of the four schools of thought. It follows the teachings. It understands the Quran and the Sunnah with the same methodology that they used to apply in terms of aqeedah, in terms of jurisprudence, fiqh, in terms of every single thing. Now, when you come and compare extremists to the Salafiyya, you would find that there is no resemblance unless you yourself would be an innovator or a super Sufi or a Rafida Shi'i. In this case, anyone who doesn't follow or comply with your convictions would be considered to be extremist or Wahhabi or Salafi or whatever radicalization you would like to give them names and labels. Other than that, when I say that I'm a Salafi, you can compare whatever I say or do with the Quran and Sunnah. And if it goes against it, then blame me. Don't blame the Quran and Sunnah. Now, the claim that is being propagated in CNN, Fox, BBC, and all these kafir media channels that Saudi Arabia propagates and endorses fundamentalist ideas and ideology and markets it abroad, this is totally false and a blatant lie. We call for Islam. We call for Quran. We call for the Sunnah. And if you consider this to be radicalization, or you consider it to be part of terrorism, then you have an issue. You have a problem. You have an illness. Because we know that this is the way of the Prophet ﷺ. So should we listen to them? How would you identify a person looking at me and saying, oh Sheikh, you have a very thick and long beard. This is extreme and you should trim it. You should make it look better. This is extreme and you're a fundamentalist. How would you label such a person? Definitely you would say that this person is an ignorant imbecile. He doesn't know Islam. Because when we go back to the Sunnah, we find that the Prophet ﷺ had a thick, big beard, and he ordered us to keep it. So how do we evaluate? How do we measure whether this act is an act of extremism and radicalism, or it is part of the Sunnah? You cannot just simply sit on your couch and say, I don't like this. This is extreme. Or, yeah, this is moderate. This is the way of doing it. What are you referring to? He says, look, the women and men are all in harmony. They're dancing. They're doing their salsa. They're doing their dances in a nightclub. Is this? Yeah, this is moderate Islam. When a woman stands next to me in prayer and I'm praying behind a woman who's leading the prayer, yeah, this is moderate Islam. This is Islam we're talking about. Akhi, this is kufr. This is disbelief. So, Sister Alina, I hope your question was innocent and truthful. Because if it is, alhamdulillah, I think I have answered you. And if it's not, then the hounds of hell would never be able to understand the Quran or the Sunnah. The Prophet described them to us, alayhi salam, and is so clear and obvious to anyone who can see. Fatima from Nigeria.